Hey guys, welcome back. We are continuing our fill pattern tutorials through these small videos. We are working on our Zentangle landscape. Through the first video I showed you, we did this fill pattern down here. The second video I showed you, we did a fill pattern that is not included on this example. The third video, we did a more complicated fill pattern, that is this one. And now in the fourth fill pattern I'm going to show you is also not on here. It is this spiral design. So this is the first fill pattern we did, a series of vertical and horizontal lines. The second fill pattern we did was wavy lines showing value. This is the third fill pattern we did that kind of creates a three-dimensional look. And we're about ready to start the fourth fill pattern. So what we're going to start off with again is our outline. Okay, then we're going to draw our mountain. Okay. And now what we're going to do is create a series of diagonal lines that are evenly spaced apart. I'm going to turn my paper so I can get it a little bit more even. To help ensure that I get straight lines, I could use a ruler, or I could fold a piece of paper to use as a ruler if I didn't have one, or I can freehand it like I'm doing right now. To help me get straight lines, I take the pen, I place it down, and I pull it towards me. That's going to help me get straight lines. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the paper again. And I'm going to be creating squares, just like I did in the last video. And I'm pulling these towards me. So what I'm doing is I'm envisioning that I'm making squares on each one of these lines. So here's a square. This would be a square. And over here, it would be a square, so it's probably going to end here. All right? Now what I can do is in between these two lines, I'm going to put another line. In between these two lines, I put a line. And where there would be another line on the space that's not visible, I'm going to add another one. And you're just going to do this the whole time to create your squares. Okay? They are staggered. Okay? And now this is where I have. Okay? This fill pattern is going to be done square by square, individually. The last fill pattern, we did it all at once. We did all the squares at the same time. However, this one, you need to work on the squares individually. Okay, so I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my paper, and I'm going to start with any square that I want. I'm going to start with this one. Okay, and I'm going to start at the top left corner of my square, and I'm going to make a triangle. This is the top of my triangle, and as I come down, it's going to get wider, like this. Okay. Now, the bottom of my triangle is now the top of my new triangle. So I'm going to turn the paper. Okay. And this bottom of the triangle that I just made is now the new top for my new triangle. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to pull down and make another triangle, just like this. All right. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to turn my paper again, just easier for me this way. The bottom of this triangle that I just made, right here, this bottom is now the new top of my next triangle. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to pull down so it's straight. And I'm going to do it one more time. The bottom of this triangle that I just made is the top for my new triangle. And I'm going to pull it down like this. Okay? So now we have kind of a diagonal square in the space. You're going to use this space to keep doing the same pattern. Okay? So the top here, or the bottom of this triangle that I just made is going to be the top for my new triangle. Okay? I'm going to keep repeating this until I fill up the entire space. Problems that I've run into creating this fill pattern are that I make the triangles way too big. So it's important to kind of keep your triangles smaller. Otherwise, it's not going to look as three-dimensional as you want it. Okay? And that's hopefully creating a three-dimensional look for you, like it's pulling you in towards the center of the page. I'm going to do one more for you, one more whole one, and then I'm going to show you how to do one that is kind of half off the mountain, because you wouldn't want to put this whole square up here because then it would go into your sky. So I'm going to show you one more time how to do this one, a full one, and then I'm going to show you how I would do one that is kind of half on here. So I'm going to start at the top corner, top left, and I'm going to pull down to make a triangle. So here's my triangle. Now the bottom of this triangle is now the new top for my next triangle. Okay. I'm going to pull down. And then the bottom of this triangle is now the top for my new triangle. Once you get the hang of it, you don't need to keep rotating your paper. I'm not going to rotate the paper anymore because I don't need to. If you really want these to give the illusion of spiraling in, you want these triangles to be even closer together. I'm making these larger together, that way you can see them. Okay? Now, say I'm doing this one right here. Obviously, I'm going to have some trouble because I'm missing part of my square. So I can use a pencil, you can see that, and finish my square up here. Okay? And now I have an idea of where my lines would go. So I'm going to start up here. This is the top of my triangle. I'm going to pull down like this. And I'm going to continue this. Now that I'm here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to imagine where this line would go. It's going to go about here. So I'm going to draw my line, but I'm going to stop before I go into the sky. So that's where I would go. And then now that I'm here, since I'm here, I'm going to imagine that I'm here and I'm going to pull down to where that would be. And now I can keep repeating the pattern. If you find it's easier to do this in pencil first, you can definitely go ahead and do that. That might help some of you, because then you can go back and erase your lines. Okay, so it's a little challenging. Again, I would probably do it in pencil first and then outline it in Sharpie, and then you can simply erase your pencil marks when you're done. So you have the illusion of only part of the design into your square. If you have any questions, rewatch the video or email me or send me a message on Google Classroom.